So, how did people actually spend their New Year's holiday? I mean, really, were they all escaping to snowy mountains and sunny beaches, or did they find their joy right at home? Well, the data tells this incredible story, a real tale of two completely different celebrations. Let's get into it. Welcome, everyone. You're here at the Flow Tao Salon, and in this explainer, we're going to decode how the 2026 New Year's holiday really played out across China. And how do we know all this? Well, our guide is the 2026 New Year's Holiday Report from the research unit Social Agent. They basically sifted through a mountain of social media data from late December 2025 to uncover the real story hiding behind all that holiday chatter. And believe me, the chatter was massive. Just look at this graph. The whole internet was basically lit up with holiday talk. See that blue line? That's the volume of posts, and it peaked right on December 29th, as everyone was locking in their final plans. But the green line, that's the interactions, the likes, comments, shares. That actually crested earlier, around Christmas. You can really feel the festive spirit just building and building for days. But here's the thing. If you look past just the sheer volume of all that talk, a much more interesting story starts to take shape. It's truly a tale of two holidays, and it shows this fundamental split in how people decided to ring in the new year. So first up, let's talk about the travelers. For millions of people, this holiday was all about one thing: getting out, exploring, and chasing new experiences. And we saw this classic pattern play out, what we're calling the North-South swap. It's exactly what it sounds like. People from the chilly northern regions made a break for it, heading south for warmth and sun. Meanwhile, folks from the south headed in the complete opposite direction, chasing that magical winter wonderland experience. It's the perfect holiday trade-off, right? And that desire for ice and snow, it was absolutely off the charts. I mean, the growth here is just staggering. Bookings for Harbin's legendary Ice World jumped by a solid 30%. But get this, ticket sales for Changbai Mountain exploded by 270%. And for the picture-perfect Snowtown, they shot up 200%. People were serious about getting that perfect winter photo. But at the very same time, a totally different trend was picking up steam: reverse tourism. This is all about intentionally seeking out the less famous, off-the-beaten-path destinations. And why? Well, the goal is pretty clear. Escape the crowds, probably save some money, and find a more real, authentic experience. This quote from a traveler in the report just nails it, doesn't it? It's all about finding that quiet moment of connection that you just can't get when you're shoulder to shoulder with thousands of other tourists. This search for authenticity is becoming a massive deal for a whole new generation of travelers. So with all these people traveling, all this movement, you'd naturally think that getting away from it all was the number one thing on everyone's mind, wouldn't you? Well, the data threw us a major curveball. What do you think was the single most discussed activity online? Yeah, the answer wasn't travel. Not even close. It was the complete opposite. The simple, ultimate retreat. The art of just staying home. Okay, check this out. On Douyin, which is China's version of TikTok, the topic stay-at-home entertainment pulled in nearly 800,000 interactions. Now, to put that into perspective, that's way more than any single travel topic. So what that tells us is, while a ton of people were packing their bags, it seems like even more were busy planning the perfect holiday right from their own living rooms. And staying home was anything but boring. So what did that look like? It was about binge-watching shows, finally catching up on that series everyone's been talking about for months. It was about culinary comforts, cooking and enjoying those big family meals. And maybe most importantly, it was about real quality family time and just recharging, using the time off to truly rest and restore your energy for the year ahead. So you have these two totally different holiday styles, the big adventure out and the cozy nesting in. So what was the overall vibe? What was the collective mood? Social media gives us a pretty clear picture. The mood was overwhelmingly positive and pretty chill. Look at this. 83% of the conversations were neutral. That's just people sharing plans, asking for tips, that kind of thing. Nearly 16% were explicitly positive, and the negative comments, barely a blip, just 1%. It really was a happy, feel-good holiday season online. But that doesn't mean there weren't some really passionate discussions going on. In fact, there was one topic that sparked these huge spikes in conversation, way more than most other trends. And that was the debate over banning fireworks in cities. And this debate is fascinating because it perfectly captures a very modern tension. On one hand, you have this deep yearning for tradition. this desire to bring back what's known as New Year's flavor, or Nianwei. But on the other hand, you have these very real practical concerns about safety, fire hazards, and of course, air pollution. It really shows a society having a thoughtful conversation about how to balance beloved customs with the realities of modern city life. Okay, so we've looked at the travelers, the homebodies, the mood, the debates. What does all of this really tell us? Let's boil it all down to the three biggest takeaways from this holiday report. First, we're seeing this new holiday balance emerge. People are looking for a personal mix of that external adventure and that internal relaxation. It's not one or the other anymore. Second, travel itself is evolving. The whole reverse tourism thing is huge. It shows people are starting to care more about authentic experiences than just, checking famous places off a list. And third, what this all points to is a really mature public conversation. The mood was positive, yes, but the fireworks debate shows people are also capable of having these rational, complex discussions about important social issues. In the end, how we choose to spend our time off says so much about what we truly value. Is it adventure or comfort? Tradition or modernity? Excitement or peace? It really makes you think, what will your next holiday say about you?